Be making a challenge lock for a trucker. And as you can see here on the key, clear as can be, it says AR Assa Abloy. So I've not gutted one of these yet. I sent one out to Panda Frog, and I got a bunch of them in a lot on eBay a while back. So I'm kind of curious as far as I understand that they have the arrow keyway, which I know it's not the AR1 because that's only 5 pins. And let's see, count this correctly using my very cool skulls and keys pick. Alright, enough showing off. Quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if we got a 6-pin arrow, that means it's not an AR1. What is that, an AR-15? I believe that's an AR-4 or AR-5, something like that. But, yeah, we're going to gut this guy and see what arrow Assa Abloy, if anything, has to do with this arrow. I mean, I already have to send Trucker the bare bones pick, so I figure might as well send him a cool lock to go along with it, you know what I'm saying? Something new and fun to pick with your new set of picks. At least that's my thinking process. The only thing better than new toys is new toys and gear to try it out on. Yeah, this pin's not, or the clips rather, the C-clip on the back does not want to come out. You can tell these things have been pretty well worn. There we go. You're definitely seeing use in a doorknob or something somewhere. Hopefully I didn't bend that. Nope. Okay. Okay. Put the tailpiece over there. So that's literally just floating in there, held on by the clip. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'm definitely going to shim this guy. Can't afford for any gutting disasters here. As you can see, I got pins all over the place. Last thing I need is pins spilling out like that. So again, just grabbing a fresh shim. The ones I had in the board were getting pretty well bent and mangled. Again, if you don't have shims, you can just cut up a Sprite can. Ultimately, little strip of metal is a little strip of metal. You're just making a little barrier. Okay. I can put the goat wrench down. Not gonna need that for a minute. We're not gonna need it for a minute because we're shimming it. Alright. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm just curious. Like I said, it says Assa Abloy, but I don't feel any type of side anything. Like, I don't feel any sidebars, side pins. I don't feel anything. We're about to find out right now, literally. Let me better clear this. Just in case any parts I don't know about go in any direction. At least I can figure it out. Okay. Let's see the size plug follower. That looks like the better fit. Okay, hopefully there's not an Abloy bar about to pop out and go sideways with fingerprints. You can tell by the key that there's not, nor should be, but no, okay. Put the Bible down. Let's check out the core. It's a steel core. It feels pretty well made. Take the key out. Let's see. I'll give you a close-up view. I do not see any serrations or anything. They seem standard key pins. Okay. So I'm going to put these ones out, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to pair them with. Well, actually, take the key out. This way I can see with the key pins in there, I have an idea of how much space the top pins are going to fall in. See, like, for example, that 6-chambered air, that's nothing's going to fall in there. So really the main ones you're working with are 1, 2, 3, and 5. Your top pin's doing nothing there and nothing there. So that's okay. Ooh, and that's a steel core too. When I show you the pins, I was gonna actually do a trench, but to a steel core. Yeah, you know what? I might just throw serrated and spools in there instead. Yeah, maybe do some counter milling. Because those other two, it's like I could put a standard pin in there, and you'd never be able to notice a difference. Or it's not going to make a difference. So, all right, without further ado, let's put these key pins out. Wow, these are big key pins too. See, it's crazy working with different, I've mostly been working with pack locks recently. So working with the smaller diameter and then working with this one. I really want to get back into the 3 diameter. More room for me to maneuver. And, I want to start making pins and that type stuff. So I figure it's best to start on a 3mm. Okay, I've spaced out the pins. I'm going to give you a up close look real quick on what we're working with. Alright, so given what I saw when the key pin was in and the steel core, these traps are out. So I'm not going to be able to do trenches on here. So to fill up the space, I'm going to use that one and that one for the first 2 chambers. I'm still going to keep the serrated, hopefully it catches a thread. So chamber 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then for 6 and 7, again, I'm not even gonna waste really good pins for that. So, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna see what comes out of the top of this. I might just put one of the standard back in. So, for a little zoom effect, that's what we're working with. That's the upside down pawn from the chess set, and that is a pellet from the ammunition set or munition set from Sparrows made by Lock Noob. But now let's see what's up inside of the plug here, or Bible rather. Don't want that shooting across the room now, do we? Okay, first one's standard. I see that they got steel springs too. Okay. From the outside looking in, really would have guessed that that was a steel front pin, just the way that it looked from the outside in. It did not look brass. Okay, another. I have a feeling these are all just going to be standard. Okay. So these are all standard pins. Just pushing down the springs, making sure none get ruined in the process. Take the shim. Okay. So this is going to be pretty easy as far as repinning the top. I mean, in a sense, everything's going to be done to the Bible as far as mods, and even those with the steel plug are going to be kind of minimal. So I'm going to do threading in chambers 3 and 4. And let's see. While this is the 3mm threading, I think I'm going to want to go to 3.5. I'm just trying to see with the steel, would it even bite? What it feels like. Ooh, definitely don't want to do that. It does have a little bite to it. Let's see what it leaves behind. Oh yeah, wow, that's actually threaded really good. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'll thread the other chamber, then I'll show you what to pick. Yeah, that's definitely plenty to bite on. Maybe that's the problem. I've been making the chambers too wide with the serrating and the whatnots. Well, actually, I guess since I'm not going to be doing major counter milling, I guess I can go ahead and serrate 1 and 2 to try. Well, yeah. So this way, I'll show you. Hopefully the edges get caught. Looks like it's basically going to be Serration City over here. But with the bitting of that lock, that back high pin, the 6 chamber, has a very high lift on it. Okay. I take my Jimmy Longs here. I'm going to show you, just in case you can't see, those beautiful serrations. Look at that. That's very clean. I'll give you good audio if you can get it. I can't hear it, but I imagine you can. I can feel the clicks. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so those are beautiful, nice serrations. Yeah. All right, about to move on. There we go, good focus. Like I said, in this one with the high pinned or the low pinned in the back, it really doesn't have room for me to make the serrations worth it. So there's no point in serrating those chambers, and then to dig the tunnels, I mean the trench traps in the front, with this being a steel core, I really don't, you know what? You don't know until you try, right? Okay. I was recently buffering my picks for my bare bones projects, if you haven't seen them. So that's the monkey wrap bone, and then that's the handle for the law lock tools. So this video is waiting to premiere, and then this was yesterday's video. And then the one I'm making tonight is the rib bone. So, using my new tack light, I'm going to be using my favorite little ballpoint right here. I said it before and I'll say it again. To me, for the price of that $15 tack light, that's worth it just for this attachment alone. I get more mileage out of this. Let me put it in before I go dropping it. I gotta be careful with the there we go, with the chuck. That's how I broke the last one. Making pins. I broke this guy. So I had the brass rod in here, and I had that spinning, and I was working on the brass rod. Unfortunately, the chuck's not meant to be able to hold that, but nonetheless, that's the tip that you want. It's got that little drill bit. The diamond tipped one, sure, it'll cut, but it'll grind the bit out really quick. This one's kind of meant for tunneling. That's nice and quiet too. I mean, I know I'm deaf, but like that's like you could feel how loud. Let me see if the other one still has any battery left. Honestly, I gotta work in a closed, tight environment, so that's as loud as that gets. Now here, listen to this one. Yeah, you can hear. I'm deaf and I can hear. Pick a slice. Yeah, exactly, dude. This whole kit, I do a review. Like the whole kit was like 15, $20 or something like that. It was like $20 free shipping. So it was like, wow, dude, okay. I burnt out the drill. I was gonna order the drill and a bit, and I was like, oh wait, I'm just gonna order a whole another new thing. I don't need another, bit. Like you said, for the extra $5, whole nother attachments. Why would I not for $5 get everything else in there? But yeah, exactly right. Okay, so now with the serrations made, I'm gonna go ahead and do the counter milling. I'm gonna see if the steel bites, and then hopefully we can put a little trench in there. So we'll see. Worst case, it ruins the serrations. Best case, it makes it a better challenge lock. Hold on, that chuck's not tightening. So now I'm not tightening them enough out of fear of breaking that last one. Ah, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Okay, I'm making sure to leave a little bit of a lip on there, so it like kind of chews under. I'll show you an example here with the diamond pick. So you can see that little shelf being created under the surface, and then on this side, that good grab and that click. Oh yeah, so that's if you when I did my little Dremel review, they actually changed that since in the year that I bought them. So it's like on the one that are on the right, it's actually kind of shorter, and as you can see, the same thing, the wear and tear from the pliers or wrenches or whatever for tightening it. And then you see on the new one, they actually extended it, so it's a much higher thing. You don't necessarily need the a wrench per se. So it's literally just a matter of it has a better grip. I mean, you could see the tapered top that has like nothing on it. So I mean, it's able to bite a little better. So they actually have made improvements. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It's still a pain in the ass. Okay, so I've started with the tunneling and the counter milling, but now I'm gonna start with the I'm gonna change bits and start with the tunneling or trench work, whatever you want to call it. I wasn't expecting to do this trap on this lock. When I was looking at it, even on the high cuts, I didn't think that it would have a good bite, but and especially with the steel core, I gotta have that tip already out. There's one. There it is. Okay. This is the tip that I use for the trench work. It's basically meant for engraving, but it's kind of like I don't want to call it spearhead because there's one in there that genuinely looks like a spearhead. It has a more cone shape to it. And again, I kind of just lay this across the whole chamber. So between the counter milling I've already done, and then I'm going to go ahead and start to create a tunnel. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to touch it back up with the counter milling, and I'll show you with the ball bearing what the idea is. So, you're going to put a spool in there, and it's going to get trapped and have the rotation. So that's ultimately what we're going for. Oh yeah, no, there's I showed multiple ways to do it. Being that you don't want to avalanche over here. The very first one that I did, and it's a very good way to do it. Land Spikey shows I actually did it with files. So I mean, you can still see the whatever on the file. Okay, files come out rough, and I mean, even though I smoothed it out with a Dremel afterwards, to me, I mean, unless I was really going all, I say I can't make any Bible adjustments. I can't. I'm just kind of late in sending this to, or sending Trucker his pics. So I'm just kind of throwing this together in appreciation. But like, if I was really making the hardest one I can, I'd probably hit it with files first. Reason being, that V cut, it is just a little bit deeper of a grab. Like, even though you have to round it out with this type tip or even the ball tip gently, because you can't leave the file. The file's too tight. Like, it'll pinch the pin in a bad way. You know what I mean? So to round it out so that you have a flush shear line and that the pin's able to move and all that, you have to round it out. So I kind of just cut out the middleman of the file and just do the whole trench with the Dremel. So I'm burning out mileage on the tips, but yeah, it's starting to slip. Let's see where those my pliers. Okay. Not breaking this one. Can't afford to. Well, they are only $15. I can't afford one every week. Otherwise, people really will never get their packages for the pliers. I got you. There's a lot of basic. Sorry, I talk over Dremel. But there's a lot of basic 101s. Hey, at least things I wouldn't think of. Like for me, when I was serrating things, I would just serrate the top and bottom. Now, okay, the thing about serrating, uh, if you don't have serrated key pins where they're gonna get stuck up in the top, like in the Bible, there's almost no point in threading it, only because the only thing it's really gonna catch or whatever is stop the pin or the spring from actually activating or dropping that pin down. So like the bottom key pin, if it's not in some way tapered or serrated, it's not gonna catch in the Bible's serrations to hold it up there. So it's like if you don't have the key pins, the only mods that really, help keep it in a sense are the core mods. So, like, for example, on this lock, I can't do any Bible mods, unfortunately. Like, I don't have. I didn't want to drop the springs. I should have put them out. Okay. But yeah, the way this is, I'm not able to tap the Bible. Like, I mean, I could remove the strip and grub screw it or put the thing back. I'm not doing all that. So because I can't do the counter milling and the threading on the top, everything just has to kind of be done to the plug. So I mean, even like the ball bearing trap I'm about to do with the trench, normally I'd put counter milling in the top, but I can't do that for this one. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'll do something to switch the springs up too. Maybe I'll double spring it or something to really push the trap down into there. But that's just the beginning. We need to get a lot deeper. Don't forget to grab both sides. Otherwise, one side will bite a lot better than the other. At the same time, you don't want to cut too much depending on the key pins, or else the key pins will just turn and turn in there, and then that'll make an unstable plug. Oh yeah, very cool, dude. Yeah, Picksmith definitely knows what he's doing, man, for sure. This one where I learned this particular trench trap was on Bosnian Bill whip by Dark Arts lock picking made this trench trap and sent it in to Bill. So I'd reached out to Dark Arts lock picking on the secrets to that. So he kind of referred me to a couple other videos and. Since then, I've almost exclusively been doing them on my pack locks. Oh yeah, for sure. In the beginning of this one, even I had totally different, better plans using different pins. But when I put the key in to see how much room there is in each chamber to work with, I realized very quickly only chambers 1 and 2 would even be optionable for a trench, and only 2 and 3, I believe it was, were even worth threading because these two are so high that the top pins aren't even barely going to sit in it. So for those, I'm not going to waste like a rattlesnake pin or something crazy cool like that in a chamber where it's not even going to sit, a couple millimeters. And again, this is just something quick to entertain Chucker for a minute, for him to try out the bare bones he won from me. He won the advanced kit, dude. That's $100 kit. That thing's fucking awesome. It's a complete kit in 15 and a complete kit in 23 with my coffin handles on them. Turning that in there to prevent any pinching of the dog tag chain. So that's exactly where it's going to occur. And while if you do have a longer key pin, I do like the thing that Lance Spikey showed as far as I would use the round Dremel bit if I was going to do it, but cutting into the warding so that the front key pin rests way down here as opposed to up there. Here, let me see the front key pin actually. I don't like that my tweezers somehow became, well, I know how, J. Gabriel, but they became magnetized. So now they grab everything, which is a pain in the ass. Yeah, see, those serrations make it so that key pin doesn't even want to go down that hole. Okay. So I'm going to have to go back in there with a ball bearing and a ball bearing with the round Dremel. So now if you can see with the key out, yeah, oh yeah, for sure. So now with the key out, come on, stop reading my letters. Let's see if I could put the light a little better over here. You can see now it's resting exactly on that warding. It's like right here on that top ledge. So if I drill down into there, I can make it drop. So let's do it. I am trying to make this as challenging as possible. So let's try it out. And hopefully in doing that, if you could see how tight that is, like I'm probably going to have to jam the key in there just to loosen it up. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Should be quite an effective trap here. Okay, let me change the tips out. Go back to the counter milling. I can't believe I put like 5 hours worth of love in the Panda Locks challenge lock. I dug him like 3 trenches and he got through it in like 3 minutes. I was like, wow. At like 2 minutes and 15 seconds or something, he falls into the second one and you see a big false set. I was like, got him. And all of a sudden, boom, he just pushed through it. I was like, oh my God. I was expecting when he gutted it for the like ball bearing things to be snapped. Dog tag. Nope. He did it beautifully with finesse. Good fucking job, man. I was floored by it. I mean, Lady Lock has yet to get hers. Legless has yet to post that he got his. There it is. Okay. See, if you put everything back directly where you got it from, it should be there next time you're looking for it, right? Isn't that how it works? Unless you put 2 of the same things back in the same spot. That's the problem with having 2 kits now, I guess. Oh yeah, pickle slice! Congratulations! I saw you won. What was it? Um. Oh yeah, how fast people pick the locks. Yeah, hours to make, minutes to pick, dude. Yeah, for sure. But see, I also take my time, dude. This is where like right now, I agree with the whole lock sports journey thing. And right now, I'm having my fun making the locks. I thought so, dude. I saw your name pop up for something in the last like week or 2 weeks. I could have sworn a pickle slice one something came out. Because I mean, not for into you're relatively new, like to me. So I remember seeing like, oh wow, congratulations to him. Like I just saw his name from Discord, and I just saw like, so I remember seeing like that's all. I don't remember what it was, or maybe it was. Was it just in this last week or so that Picksmith picked your challenge locking up? Wait, hold on, maybe that's what it is. sorry, did he pick your challenge lock number 1? The first challenge lock you made for blue belt certification? Was that yours? I'm not sure. I remember seeing your name a couple times this week, though, dude. Like, without a doubt. Hey, Chucker, what's happening, dude? Yeah, I'm whipping this together for you, pal. I'm trying to see. I never worked on a steel core before. And I had these Assa Abloy arrow blocks that I sent one out to Panda, but he didn't investigate it. So I finally got curious enough and figured, what the hell? Sidebars go flying everywhere. We'll figure it out on picking time. And no, for some reason, I guess it just says it on the key for no good reason whatsoever. I mean, it's a 6-pin, so it's not an AR1. I guess that's an AR4, if I'm not mistaken. But I was curious and I couldn't wait. So we learned together. So right now, I'm going to chew through that warding and see how low we can get that first key pin to drop. So I'm going to chew through there. I'm just going to put it on 2, nice medium slow. Yeah, I want to go grinding all the way through and sucking things up too bad. Ooh, I could tell I can stagger the pin already. Let me see if I can edge in on this. As you can see, I'm going to let it rest on that secondary warding. I'm not going to push it down too far, but yeah, so I just chewed through like layer 1, and I'm letting it, hopefully it's going to rest on layer 2. Sorry, I need to do this part off camera just because the straightness of the barrel, I don't want to fuck that all up. No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything particularly special about it. I mean, I showed everything on it was standard pins. There was no sidebars. There was no secondary like master wafers. Like there was no secondary rigging for like control key. Like nothing. I don't know what the what was happening here. All right, there we go. We're all the way through. I'm just gonna clean it up very little bit. Alright, let's put that. Oh, I should widen the top part too. I'm gonna go extra slow on that. What I'm doing here, well, I'm gonna turn it off so you can actually. I never showed this in my live ones before. So really what I'm doing is I'm getting under that lip and I'm trying. Oh, is it really? It's a blue lock? I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know Assa's good like that. But the way I'm trying to get the trench deeper and deeper is, okay, that's across the side, but you slowly erode underneath that lip. So you create a tighter, see, it's like hard for me to even get the tip like back out. Like it's literally caught in the other side of the trench. See that? So it's like it literally, like when I tell you it bites, like it bites. And that's the idea, is that. And now that I dropped that key pin way the hell down there, I just got to make sure it comes back up to the surface. So let's try that out. If not, well, I ruin a little $5 kick and I send him one of the standard ones. Oh, this doesn't even want to go in the hole. Here we go. Okay, see, now it falls down good. Yeah, look at how deep that floats now. Like that goes way down through it. Like before, I know it's like a matter of millimeters. But before it was resting here, and now it's chewed down. It's resting down here. I don't even know. I might want to even chew that last part off. Hold on. Before I go chewing shit, let's see how it even works, functions. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's real nice, actually. See, sometimes when you serrate things too much, especially with the counter milling, it'll get all crunchy and get all resist your key work. But no, and that's still got a beautiful shear line. That's another thing with counter milling. Sometimes when you go too wide, if you're trying to open the trap up, then that'll make that pin very wobbly. And I mean, ideally, you don't want that either. Oh, that's a lot of room. See, now with that much room down, watch how far these ball bearings can drop. Where before, it was only one deep, so it was only able to go this one little bite. But now that I've drilled it down, I'm going to try to push it down if I had spring pressure. Yeah, it's almost two. Almost two. So you know what? I am going to drill that down just that little bit. If to push one bearing out is hard enough on a trap, to push out two, yeah, that's going to be a pain in the ass, dude. Here, let me see how it bites. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can see as you're turning the core. And not only that, I'm going to do something better for you, my friend. I'm using 2mm, which I normally use in pack locks. Let's see. I'm sure I have some random Sparrows keychain I could snip a couple of dog tag things off of and make you some decent ball bearings at 3mm. Actually, I happen to have some for just such an occasion. How about that? I don't need to mutilate any sparrows yet. Hey, that reminds me, man, that they owe me a dark shift kit that's supposed to be sent out Monday. That should be here today. It's not here. I got the competition case I ordered with it. I got the expansion dark sec thing, but the actual kit itself is missing. I wonder if that's sitting in my mailbox. That'll be a cool surprise. Let me put these plug followers back for now. Out of the way. Okay, so you can see. Look at how deep that key pin is just to get it out. Well, I hope you don't have a aneurysm. I don't want that, but I realized when I made Pandas, and I said it when I made it, because his was the only pack lock that didn't come with any serrated key pins at all. So once I was like, oh man, he's just the 3 traps. Like there's no, it was only supposed to be 2 traps. I made a third because there was no serrated chambers. There was no modified key pins. There was no, okay. There was no, I'm just going to be cutting these in the meantime. There was no nothing. So he picked it, like I said, in under the 3 minutes. I mean, everybody else, Lady Locks, Lockheed, Legless, everybody else, they all got from pack lock, like when the lock was made, they all had serrated key pins. So I was able to serrate chambers and make it harder. I'm just looking for my wire cutters here. Lots of tools floating about. And wire cutters, honestly, aren't ones I use often, all too often here. That's another thing. I can't wait, and that's to remind you guys too. Lockpicker 1969 is having a giveaway. He wants to see your lock labs. So I'm in the middle of rearranging mine actually on suggestions that I've seen him give and then I've taken from him just looking at his setup. And that's where I've been putting all my things kind of in Tupperware. I guess I show him the lot of the arrows. So like I'm trying to get things organized so when I could find them, I can at least find what I'm looking for as opposed to wading through a sea of different key blanks or different locks if I'm looking for key blanks or a bunch of pins when I'm looking for springs. Just that random or basic organization skills that apparently I'm lacking as my lock lab has been growing. And even something so small as getting a vise, dude. Like I had a 15. Well, I still use it. I'd highly recommend it if you don't have a vise. This is just a basic suction vise, and that's for 15 bucks. You can find it if you don't mind waiting a week to get it. But I finally upgraded to the one most people use, the Bosnian Bill one, and that's honestly I wish I would have done that earlier. Even if that meant me not getting a certain couple picks or something like that. Like really having a vise it's changing the way I'm picking. Like I said, I'm 90% a hand picker, so having that new one and just being able to have it, sit on my lap and whatnot, that's huge. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to grab wire cutters. I don't see them right here. I will unfortunately be right back. 1 second. Okay. So I got two different kinds of wire cutters, basic and heavy duty. I think basic should be enough to get the job done. I don't want to go running around the house with the plug in my hand, so let me put that down. Okay, so before I go snipping them away, let's test this theory of having a better bite. Ooh, these might not fit. Oh, there they go. Oh my god. Alright, so I gotta widen the hole a little bit. But dude, you're not getting that out. But hold on. I don't know if that's... Let me see if I have a third option. I know I have another silver keychain that might be... These things jump in stupid ranges of dog tag change. It's like... This small little one's like 2.8 or something like that. And then the next one's 3.2. And the next one, something like 3.8 or something like that. So they're all different just by minute amounts. And I ordered different ones, but they sent me all the same one. So I gotta source them from keychains. I know I had at least 2 or 3 Sparrows style keychains I had. Let me think. Bump keys come with the dog tags. Let's see, where did I find my bump key? Because I really do want to make this somewhat difficult here. Yeah, no Sparrows bump key pouch. See, again, everything's all out of order because I'm rearranging shit. Bump keys, calling bump keys. See, the keychains I use to label things are just the metal wire keychains, and I try to use the color of the belt that's associated with the lock that they're on. So because that's what I use, I really don't have plethora of dog tag chains. However, Sparrows utilizes them like crazy when they send you shit. So I just gotta find what I did with my Sparrows. Like I said, I know they're on the bump keys for a fact. I'm trying to think. I don't know what else for a fact that they're definitely on. Of course, nothing on the real keychain. Man, that'll make all the difference in the world. Better the dog tag chain. Yeah, hold on. There's my bump hammer. There we go. Now we're in business. Persistence pays. I gotta say, where there's a bump hammer, there are bump keys. Just in case you're ever wondering what the Sparrow's bump keys sets and additional sets look like, this would be them. But you know what? This looks like the same exact diameter that I already have over here. Yeah, exact. Yeah, you're not supposed to have them where I am either. And they are exact diameter. Okay, so that's a bust. Darn. If anything, they actually look a hair thinner. Oh, wow. See, I don't know exactly about what the charge is. See, that's funny that you say that. Okay. Here's my little police story. So, I got pulled over. I go to my dispensary's down the block. I'm quite a ways away, but I go to that place. There you go. Free advertising. So, right next to it is the New Jersey State Police Barracks. So, the police sit there right in their state. Here, trucker, maybe you'll enjoy this story that we're talking about. Police, and I was looking for bigger balls, motherfucker. And I was looking for bigger balls to put in a trap to fuck you up. And I thought maybe the Sparrows. My keychains, like I had just explained, come with like I color code mine. Like that's a white belt lock, so it has a white thing. So I color them by belts. So I don't have any dog tag chains. However, I knew the Sparrows bump key set did. So I was looking, and unfortunately, it's the same diameter as the one that I was already cut. And so Pickle Slice was saying how by him to have bump keys was a felony. And I was telling him my little cop story in the sense of going to this place, and the New Jersey State Troopers thing is right there. And they're sitting, like, watching everybody coming and going. And one, making sure nobody gets robbed, because there's, like, people at thousands of dollars, and it's a cash-only spot. And then two, to make sure nobody, is intoxicated driving around. So, long story short, get pulled over, because they do pull almost everybody eventually. So get pulled, didn't look through my bag, but looked at my bag, saw nothing was open. So, no. Well, no, I get what you're saying. So then it'd be my house key, but no, it's all right. So this does not cover bump keys at all, but this just covers picks. So, given the PBA card, my license, everything's good. He let me go. So I asked him. I said, "Hey, officer, just curious. What's the position on lockpicks? Legal, illegal?" Right away, he asked me, "Why? You wouldn't happen to have any on you, do you?" Like, no, of course not. So he looks around, and straight across from us there's this building, and it's got this big cinder blocks and red bricks around it. And he was like, all right. He was like, the shaved little pieces of metal you guys call picks. He's like, they're technically not illegal. He's like, you can transport them, you can own them. He's like, it's your intention. He's like, so, he's like, just like that brick over there, it's just a brick meant for a building. He's like, the second you pick that up and you hit somebody in the head, it becomes a deadly weapon. It's no longer a brick, it's a deadly weapon. So, the moment you take a scrap piece of metal and stick it into a keyway that does not belong to you, it is no longer a scrap piece of metal, it is a burglary tool. So it's a matter of your intent. So it's like you can get arrested for intent to burglary. So like say I made this YouTube video and I throw all my gear in my bag and I'm at my girlfriend. I'm home, but say I'm at my girlfriend's house. I throw all my gear in the bag, stop at the post office, drop this off the trucker. On the way I'm leaving. The sun's set. It's 8 o'clock. I get pulled over. I gotta explain why it's whatever. After sunset, I'm dressed all in black just because I happen to like black or black and red, dark colors. Why, sir, are you dressed in black and red, carrying these lockpicks around this town? They would just raise suspicion, into a situation where I'd have to explain my way out of. And honestly, depending on the cop and depending on if there has been recent burglaries and if if they've been smash and grabs, that might be something else too. But I mean, it's really in the discretion of the cop to decide what your intent is. I mean, if I have a back catalog of YouTube videos and I show him, hey, I sent this, he doesn't even want to hear that. I'm already arrested. It's tell that to the judge. Like, the cops don't care. Trust me on that. So, despite what may or may not be, legal, I try not to carry anything on me, unless it's, let's say, to go stay for a couple of days at my girlfriend's house or if I'm going to vacation, something like that. So, these are the biggest, to me, a little too big. I can get these balls down in there and they bite fucking good once they're in. But the problem is, I don't know how big. Like, I can't go up and widen that Bible. So if that hole doesn't accept this diameter, all right, let's figure that out right now. I think it should. If it accepts it, dude, you're in trouble. Oh, bro, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, trucker. Haha. I don't need to counter mill it. It fits. It fits. All right. Yeah, no, 100% pickle slice. Every time I have my gear, I've showed, I just made a recent video like 3 weeks ago for Lockpicker 69, everyday carry. So I showed, my portable lock, gutting slash pick thing. So I always make sure I carry my revolver. So I could always say that's 4-in-1, not like they would care. And then some type of something that I normally have in here that I carry with me. So just like you said, hey, I have a revolver, I have a sphere. I'm on a YouTube. Here's 20 videos over the last year and a half of I would have a plausible case. It's not, but I just don't ever want to hopefully ever be in a situation where I have to even explain myself. But that's good. It fits in the Bible. Yeah, dude, you're in trouble, trucker. I almost want to make you two of these trenches, man. I gotta make sure. Yeah, okay. Ooh, that was my whole fear, was that I was gonna make the cuts and it wasn't gonna fit. But that fits clear as day. No hesitation. All right. Hopefully it doesn't compress the springs too bad. So I'm gonna cut 3 of them off for the first one. And so I'm trying to think. Normally I don't do back-to-back tunnels like that. Like, the trenches are wide and require a lot of undercut. But at the same time, this is a steel lock. And those are the only 2 places they could be. Like, besides those first 2 chambers, the positions on the keys, 1 and 2, all the rest are relatively low cut. So if you were going to have, you want as much room as possible, even though I'm cutting past the warding, you still really want to use the highest. So I'm just trying to, all right, first let's see. Here, I'll cut another couple off. If I don't use them in this lock, I'll sure you'll use them in another. And that's ultimately when I start making my own pins, as I just got to learn to make spools that have very, very narrow middles that do this same trick, because it's very easy to just pop these like that. Oh, Trucker, you never made a challenge lock yet? Really? You're really good at picking. I thought you would have got to the challenge lock part. See, I love that. That's how the journey is different for everybody, dude. I love that. See, for me, the only thing I've not ever done at all is pick making. So I made a couple pins. Like I said, I burnt out my Dremel or knockoff Dremel doing it, but I at least have a very minimal pin experience, meaning I've tried it. Yeah, it is a matter of time, that's for sure. I mean, here I'm already over an hour, and all I did is get one chamber done. I haven't modded it, nothing's going on in the Bible at all. Nothing. I made one chamber. Oh, I serrated these, and I'm not even done with that chamber yet. So yeah, an hour. That's why I say for me to make a whatever video for Panda was like 3 hours, 5 hours, and to see it undone in 3 minutes, it was like, oh wow. I really thought I had him, man. Okay. That, and I just got these new from Covert Instrument. Well, I had them a while. That's another thing. Things sit here for a while, and I don't actually implement them. And then finally, I look at them, and I'm like, what I bought them for? But these are the reverse tweezers that are able to hold your pins better. Yeah, exactly. Custom picks make a lot of time. Well, yeah, you're a lot closer to brown belt than I am, my friend. Dude, you should get. All right. I don't bring this up a lot because I don't want the prices to change. But another thing that's awesome about bare bones, I had blanks right here. All right, the conversion rate from American dollars to Australian, dude, it's like almost half. So, is this one of the blanks? No, it's anyways. You get a whole thing like this, only this part's blank. You know what I'm saying? Or it's a big, ready for you to carve whatever you want into it. So you get 3 in a pack. I think it's for like 15 or 20 Australian. That comes up to be like 10 American, dude. So for like $10, you get a 3 pack of blanks. So they're floating around here. They're part of the Knoxtober giveaways. I always say if you want to trade up or trade down, and that's one of the things. Like when I announce my giveaways, what you want. I offer things to make tension turners from, and then things to make picks from. Here, dude, I didn't send you your package yet. You want a pick blank, dude? Seriously, trucker? You need one? Like, if I send it to you in some point in time, you'd like to make a pick from it? It'll be in 23,000s because that's the only one I have that I could spare. But yeah, dude, you want that? I could throw that in for you. If you looked at like the things that I had for giveaways, you'd be like, holy shit. And it's just from last year. I got sick last October. So I wasn't able to pull off the big October. I mean, that's shit's hard to I don't want to spill it all, but it's a big bag full of all types of locks and picks and things. Awesome goodness. Pick blanks. And like, okay, you have all the material, so it's simply a matter of time. Okay. Time, the one commodity no man can buy. Much better to be spending time than killing time. Is that order off of, who's that? Bare Bones? That's the second time I forced that to stop, which isn't good, but second time I realized I don't have my glasses on, and I don't mean to do that. I do want my glasses. One, so I could see better, and two, that's eye protection. Eye protection is a serious thing. I normally don't wear it. I don't worry about it because I'm wearing my glasses. Lost amongst the sparrows. You know, for real, where are my glasses? I don't want to lose balance and I found the bare bone length. And so I'm totally looking for something completely different now, but I found, I know you said you got them, but that's what I was talking about. If you're going to make your own pick, it's a lot easier in a way to make it, you know, out of something like that. And this way it's still full tang, it's just, you know, you're making your own hook on there. That's not, I got everything right here, it's just a matter of organization skills. I got 5 projects going on, things that are sitting around that are gluing or that are things to do for later that I don't want to mess with, but it still doesn't explain my glasses. I'm trying to think, where was the last place I was before I went to sleep? Well, I really can't find them, no shit. Alright, you know, I'll get to it in a minute regardless, but wow, I got a lot of sparrows orders here. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't like, honestly. The Sparrows Ranger thing. That's what I wanted to give away. The competitor case that I just showed you before, this one, awesome. The one I just showed you, the Ranger case, meh, pass. Hard pass. No one's stealing my glasses. I promise you that. Unless they fell down back there, behind the guitar maybe. The old guitar. Man, oh well, carry on we must. How about that? Right in the nick of time. So where was I last? I was right in front of the camera. How was that for irony? Sometimes you're just too close to the elephant. Sometimes you have high power edibles and vape pens. Ooh, okay. I'll answer that question. Favorite profile pick and thickness. Okay. It's between these two, honestly. I'll say these 3. I'll narrow it down. It's the monkey's paw, regardless of this handle. So don't pay attention. It's I have it in this handle. I have it in the southward handle. I have it in the femur, which is like one of my favorites. So I have a lot of 20,000th monkey paws. I have the video. I'm gonna drop it tomorrow. It's already made loaded up in YouTube land. So tomorrow, Friday fabrication video will be this pick. So I like shaving it down. To me, the magic number is kind of 20. At 18, you get better access, but particularly with Sparrow's steel, it gets to be too flexible, too bendy. So it's like when it's that level of bendy or, flexible, you just don't want to, or at least I don't want to keep fucking with it like that. So it's like that paw there. There's the measure line. That's right on the money, 20,000th. So I said if I brought it down to 18, to me, that would make it a little flimsy. I mean, I gave it a nice shine and whatever. I was real lucky taking the picture the other day for the thumbnail or whatever of the law lock things with the bare bones handle with the little skelly in the corner. Like the way the sun comes glistening off. I couldn't stage that if I wanted to, honestly. That was just awesome. Yeah, dude, 20 straight fire. See, I use Jimmy's too. That's where the things I keep right here are the things I use the most. But again, when I'm picking long term, like I'm so happy that I got these handle covers because I've never been able to really incorporate the law lock tool set that I have just because those serrations they really do. I got big hands and I just whatever squeeze too hard, I guess. For me, they're like little cheese graters for my fingers, and I can't do it. So I'm excited to like throw this on more handles and be actually able to use the awesome kit that I bought. But at the same time, Lockpick and Dev makes this guy right here, and he's one of my, he asked me my favorite. Technically, that's a pointed. I guess that would be a medium hook. It reminds me of like something out of the Sparrows SS Devs or the Pagoda by Southord or the from Bare Bones. I would be like one of the three bones deep. I think it's the jawbone, but I don't remember the exact order of the bones. But this guy for me is it because I'm deaf, so I can't hear, so I have to feel. This thing's like an amplifier for feedback. So it's like every time that it makes a click or does whatever, I feel the vibrations through the resin in a way plastic handles just don't transmit quite as well. So to me, you know, because of the handle, it became my favorite pick. And then I have literally custom ones that I had made that I don't use them much out of fear of breaking them. I mean, I'm kind of rough on my locks, and in my opinion, like I'm not that skilled where I can go in there like a surgeon and not destroy them. But I mean, I have. I'll just pull one out of each. Custom fit to my hands. The poker set. And I like the way, I mean, each one of these has a different purpose with the tips. That's like meant to slide in between them. Like the way the notch is meant to like hold the pin while lifting it. So that's kind of meant to like help you shoot through the pin stack. And then you have that little ledge where it's kind of like the tip of a gem. So you have that square. It's a unique profile. You really got to get used to having it. And at the same time, if you wanted to make short work of it zippable, it has a good little zip action. And the way the handle's carved, it's forget about it. And then for this one, they're called the symmetricals, but I call them the suicides just because to me that looks like an awesome straight razor. Remember, it's across the street to the hospital and down the road to the morgue. So for me, I've always loved these ones just because they're how big they are, they're full tang, and how well they transmit. And again, these are all at, I was like, yeah, something between 18 and 20. So these are all exactly 19,000. He took it very literally when I said somewhere between 18 and 20. So they all come in at exactly 19. But yeah, if you know the poker set, then you know each one of those has a different unique tip to it. Like, this one's my favorite of the set. Like, the whole reason I ordered it or got in touch with Lambda. Lambda's an awesome dude. But the point of, let me put the other one away. The whole point of this and what I like in a pick is I like being able to rake into any false sets or whatever I'm getting into, and then being able to use the hook on the tip to find, like the Nessie from Law Lock Tools, or even something like the Boom Slang or Medusa, something like that from Sparrows. But the point is, I like being the rake and then still having the hook at the end. I mean, dreams of speed picking, but we're a long way from there. But it's a beautiful tool. I absolutely love it. But like I said, I'm afraid to really just go nuts with it and just I don't want to scratch it or diminish it or fuck it up in any other way. And I mean, as you can imagine, custom gears quite expensive. But okay, so you asked my 3 favorite profiles. So I guess I would have to say Monkey's Paw, Peterson's Gem is number 2. So like these were the other part from that Lambda made for me. These are called the Wizard handles. And one has a Peterson Gem, which is the top. And then the other one has a Peterson Hook 1, which I guess that would be my third. So I guess it would be Monkey's Paw, Gem, Hook 1. But these handles are very, I guess, ergonomic would be the proper wording, as far as they are meant to be gripped hard, tight, and you in any direction, whether you want to choke up and actually feel the metal, or whether you want to sit back and like this thing. Cause for my hands at first, I thought it was a little small until you start working with it, and then it's the feedback makes short work of the locks. So hopefully you won't even have to hold them for long if that was your issue. So yeah, hopefully that was a sufficient answer. Let's see, what did I do? Last thing I want to do is fuck up that. That was cool of Lambda too. He made that whole custom case, and he has this beautiful certificate. And that's he gave me these for when I wanted to make my own pick handle, so I had my own wood to do that. I just keep them with this case just to make sure, God forbid, if somebody ever stepped on it, sat on it, or something. I mean, not that I'd put it in a place where that should even happen, but people touch your shit without asking. So I just keep that there to secure it. Anyways, back to the very first chamber of the lock. 3 hours into the video. Alright. Nah, not for nothing. You're going to see these balls bite fucking much better into there. I just want to make sure that the driver is going to be able to push them down. So it looks like I might have to. They said they fit in the top, no problem. I might have to widen that opening. And I sank that warding down to the point, even with the key pin in there. I don't think it's gonna. See, that's not, well, it's hard to see. But that's not even touching the warding yet. So that's got plenty of room. It's just it's not fitting in because of the serrations I made inside of the chamber, as I'm having trouble getting it out even. But as far as the traps, the trench itself, it catches that ball tight. Like that's what you want right there. The smaller balls is hard to show that with. And this core, unlike a pack lock, you're going to be able to turn both directions. So yeah, I gotta make sure it bites both directions, and that's a good bite. That's it. Look at it, doesn't want to come out. It's shaking the fucking thing. Wow, I almost don't want to open that up for you. I just don't know. Like, I don't want it to malfunction from being too tight. I gotta open it up. That's right. I hope I don't fuck up the key pin. I'm not even gonna really open it. I'm just gonna try to round the edges of where I made the lip for the trench, and hopefully that'll. Because what it's getting stuck on is the exact part that I want to keep. And I'm trying to. When I put the ball in the hole, I'm actually trying to pull up, like at a weird up angle, and create as much of a lip as I can before I bring it back out and around. So let me see if I can try to capture that. See, like I'm pushing under with the very top corner of that ball. And that's the lip that's going to catch the, or keep it caught in the trap as opposed to going up and over. But that's also what's keeping that ball bearing from being able to sit. And if you see, if I go deeper with the file on this side, it's going to start to, there's pretty much no metal there. It's already starting to wear through. Here, I'll show it with the pick. With the steel, no, not right now. If I was doing like brass, copper, if I was gonna start messing with that, I would absolutely, Snake. Yeah. Being I'm only doing literally one thing, and these were threaded, so whatever. I'll probably live dangerously for now. But yeah, if I was gonna start modding the Bible and have whatever brass or copper shit floating around, I wouldn't. Yeah, safety third. Yeah, that's I mean, I don't know if Miss Butters originated that, but I remember seeing that from lockpicking lawyers, or even his safety fourth or something like that. Safety third. That's gotta be. I don't know if he's pulling that from them. I used to watch Jamie and Adam Savage. I like his show, Adam's Build Things on YouTube. Well, the version I watch is on YouTube. So I mean, at first, I wasn't really too interested in the lightsabers and stuff, but then seeing all the other gadgets that he builds, it's like awesome. I gotcha. Yeah, like I said, it probably has been around forever. Now watch, when I drop this key pin back in, we're gonna see how far this thing sets now. Alright, I'm gonna get a flashlight and actually shine it in the face. When you see, like, this thing sits, it's almost, hold on. I'm afraid to make it go any deeper than that. And that's not even fully under pressure. Hold on. Let me put it under pressure like spring. Ooh. If I continue to go down any, I'm going to need to widen that. You know what? Fuck it. Let's try. I got like 10 of these locks. So let's make Trucker in trouble. Wow, I've never dropped it this low before. I've never made this mod before, particularly, but even more so. Oh, and Snake, just to add, I do wear glasses. That's something had to pause to find them before the second I started drilling. I always wear glasses no matter what. Eye goggles, where you at? Yeah, hold on. So that is, I thought that was drilled down. I just have to make it wider. Ooh, I gotta be careful that doesn't fall all the way through. I don't know why that's not catching. I'm hoping that would be kind of bad if I drop the key pin and it just falls all the way through the lock. Well, then I'd be able to clog it back up and make only types of miles. There we go. Wow, see, that's weird. I'm gonna take this out and then I'm gonna show it to you, but then I'm not gonna push it any further either. Okay, yeah, it's good. Let me get my little flashlight over here. Okay. Now, it looks like, or it may look like to you, it's resting on the upper warding, but I promise you it is not. If I go any further, it's going to go through that bottom warding. And the reason I say that, putting my finger over it, is if you look in there, yeah, like, right here, you can already start to see the drill bits peeking through. So if the drill bit's able to touch there, that means it's chewed through the whole warding. So you don't want your thing to fall all the way down. But that is as low as that lock's possibly gonna. Like, I wide it. Oop, that's not good. Hold on. There we go. So now you could really see how that's literally resting below that little corner of warding. So now, to not overset that pin, and then when you look at the key, you got the low, high, lows in the back. Low, high, low. And then you got to worry about oversetting these two now. Whew. Good luck, trucker. The one thing I noticed between this arrow and the my Assa 700, they both had, when I went to repin this, when I made the key, oh, that'd be ironic if this fits. No, I was gonna say, but they both had the same like the way that their cores are. Again, I don't know if it has anything to do with like the Assa thing on there, but the way that their cores are very similar, meaning the spacing. So like when you put the key in, for me to push out the shear line, how much space there is in the actual core itself. Like sledge, quick sets, especially pack locks, stuff like that, there is minimum amount of room. Like they're very small cores. So, the actual like plug itself is very round, kind of like the 700 style. Again, I have no idea why that says the Assa Abloy on there. But, I mean, yeah, trucker's washing, so it's not going to work. But otherwise, it would have the Bosnian Bill psychological warfare, where he makes a quick set into something hard, thinking, okay, someone's going to look at this and be like, oh, it's just a quick set. And mine has the adverse effect. It's like, oh my God, it's an Assa Abloy. It's going to be hard. So it psychs you out before you touch it. All right, now I'm going to do that same trick to the second chamber now. So this way, both of those key pins drop way the hell down there. I'm going to see how that sits before I go ahead and trench it out, if that's what I'm going to do. Again, I'm trying to show you, but at the same time, I need to see what I'm doing. And this core is solid steel, so it's taking, like drilling the last hole out took a couple of attempts, and as you saw, stalled the drill a couple of times. There we go. And I'm just kind of widening that. chamber 2. Where am I putting these tweezers at? Okay. You know what I have? I could potentially try to thread. Oh, wow, that sinks way down too. I don't know if you can see. It's deceptively deep into the lock, unfortunately. All right, there you go. Well, as you can see, it goes through that first warding. Hold on. So it goes like through that first warding and then sits on that second. Now I'm going to put the first pin in and show you how that's going to block it up even more. So now keep in mind, you're going to have to fight past these 2 pins in order to get to the other 6. Okay, so if you can, you can see that first one still fits just like it did before, but now we got the one right behind it sitting that same exact way. So you've literally got to start lifting off that warding. You have no choice but to come in from that bottom side angle to lift, because literally the pin's right there. So, I mean, the minute you start coming in from this way, you're already affecting and touching keys. Or, pins rather. Like the minute you go into this keyway, it's already touched. So that's going to be a bitch to not overset. And then hopefully I'll have the trap right on top of it, ready to spring. So with that popping out at the shear line, let's see if they fit any better now. There we go, baby. Okay, so obviously I didn't drill out the second one, so you can see it doesn't fit. But into chamber 1, clockwise, counterclockwise. That's a pretty good bite. And I'm not going to drill that out anymore because I can't afford to have that go all the way through. So let's see what that looks like down the chamber. I'm curious myself. Everything in me's telling me, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, boy. But if you can see how that key pin, come on, back into focus. Right there, it had that little hair where it's getting caught up on the left side and it's not being able to slide and catch the warding on the right. If I fix that, that ball will sink in that little hair more into the trap. But if I over drill it, then the key pin will fall out and it'll be worthless. I say it's totally worth the risk. Yeah, buddy. I mean, they're both the same cut, so it's not like I really should worry about mixing up key pins, but at the same time, keep shit as least amount of confusing as possible. Alright, and it looks like, judging by the diameter of the pins, 1, 2, 3, 4, on chamber 5, I could do something too. Alright. I say let's have some fun. First, let's dig this trench out. An hour and 40 minutes. Alright, we're almost halfway there. I'm going to slow this down to chewing here. We are getting way down to the, like I showed you. You could see that circle ready to pop through. We do not want that to pop through. So I don't think it's so much a matter of depth. I think it's a matter of circumference or diameter. So I'm just going to clear the pathway out where it meets that, where it meets the wood a little better. I think I feel the part. Yeah. I think that there was a little metal ledge there that I didn't countermill all the way through. Alright, now with the drill off, I'm just gonna put the bit all the way through to make sure I'm on a straight line. Yep. Let me see what it feels like. Plenty of wiggle room. And I don't, no matter what, I do not want to push past that bottom wording. You push past that bottom, the key pin's just going to fall right the hell out of the lock. So no matter what, don't push past there. See where that's up against? That's where you don't. What I'm doing, carefully, is I'm just trying to clear out areas right there leading up to it. Literally right there. So it's just because there's warding there, it's preventing the pin from falling all the way down. So I'm just doing that very gently in both chambers. Okay. Now let's see if I can really sink these guys in here. I gotta stop putting fucking tweezers back there. That should be one of my giveaways. How many times I have to look for my tweezers in the fucking video? Oh man. I don't even know what's catching that. Seriously? Like, I guess it's the thickness of the body that's preventing it, but if you can see, the bottom of that's poking out through the warding. Like, I'm not gonna keep going, but I mean, obviously it's the taper, but it's like the very front of that key pin is in the bottom warding. I do. Yeah, like you could see the hole poking through. I do not want to keep going. Once that becomes a perfect circle, so to speak, that thing's gonna fall right the fuck through. So let's put the second pin in and see if it's as good. And if that's the case, we're good. We're done with the counter milling for the warding drop. I mean, those are the only two low cuts that really need that type of attention. You can do that every key pin if you just wanted to block the whole entire entry. You know what? What the fuck am I doing today? Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm looking at a new method detection here. Okay. Hopefully I could do this without spilling my shit all over the place. So, when my counter milling gets to a certain point, like if you could see there, literally the key pin's poking through. And if you could see, it's poking through a lot more there. Focus, I just had it. It's poking through a lot more here than a lot more there. I'm trying to keep the key pins down. So I think I need to get them both to that point. I don't like that. That's uncomfortably low for me. There we go. Like you can see the pin. Hello, pin. Like that thing is about to fall. Like if I shave that little tiny bit right there, it'll fall out. Like you can already see the tapers coming out. So this one I could do a touch more in the widening. That one I can't touch at all. If I literally touch that part right there, it'll sink. I'm sure maybe someone more talented than myself could hit that corner perfectly and make that key pin line up. But I don't want a chance ruining the lock for that. I think Trucker's going to have a good enough time with 2 trench traps and 2 sunk things. I don't think I need to do that where I'm literally messing with the functionality of the lock. But that's great. Well, you can see it good now, of course, because I'm not holding the light. But you can see the holes coming right out of the bottom. I was thinking about, I have a die cut kit, and I was thinking about maybe putting that in the vise, the long key pin, and just seeing if I could serrate my own edge on there. I've never tried that before. Where the hell is it? It's with my drill and tap set. I moved it when I grabbed my files from the caliper. There it is. Wow, I gotta organize some shit. But ideally, I put one of those into that handle, and if I had something like that vise holding that key pin, there's a 2.5 and a 3mm and whatever threader. So I could potentially thread those key pins. I like this. I've never really implemented that. That is going to be such a pain in the ass, dude. Like, there's room way above that key pin. Hold on, let me drop one of the... Wow, these things really are magnified. Oh. Wait a minute. That's... The key pin's dropping, but I don't have the warding open, and I don't think I'm going to, wide enough for the second ball bearing to drop down. So the ball's open in the top because I widened it. Oh wow, again, it doesn't even want to come out. But if I widen it at the warding part, I think that's going to bring problems to the key rotation. So I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I think that's a good enough turn of the trap. Okay, let's dump out these pins and work on trap number 2. Damn, Trucker, watch this turn out to be like one of the hardest ones I end up making. I mean, that should be in natural progression, obviously. I should be getting better. But this was all just on the fly. Curious about what was in these. I was going to include this to you anyways, just like I did with pandas, just because that high reach or that high lift at the end and the low high lows. I just thought it'd be tricky on its own. I was like, nah, I could trick this out. I've been wanting to trick out 3mm in a long time. If you look at all my lock making videos, unfortunately, they're all either American locks or pack locks or whoever locks, and none of them are full, 3mm diameter. Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah, better does not definitely mean harder. That's for sure. That, and I've learned to really try to test certain things out. I mean, with pack lock again, because of the, like in this case, I put the red as like a warning, but I ground off the warding. So any pack locks I make, you're forced to go clockwise. Like you're forced to. You can't go counterclockwise. The wording's there. So when I make my challenge locks, unfortunately, really only one side of these trenches work. Only one side. So I build them outside of it. So I think the locks would be harder if people took them out of the pack lock. You know what I mean? Like if they put them in the vise just as the normal, like kick cylinder style, just like this, and tried to pick it, just because it would make it free floating, and it would well, not free floating, but you're not forced to go clockwise. So if you went counterclockwise, if you already beat it clockwise a couple times and you wanted it for more challenging, I mean, it really does change drastically which way you try to pick this. Because it changes the binding order and then which way the balls actually grip in the trench. Okay, enough talking. Let's start drilling. Okay, now we're going to start with the side counter milling for the trenches. And after we just do this little bit of widening and create that lip, I'm going to go back in there with that long cross one and create the actual trench. Okay. And it's only that little bit of widening that you need to do for now. I know it doesn't look like much, but you'll see in a second. I mean, just how I showed you before, ball bearings can fit in there and they can't fit in any other. So just that little bit allows for the whole action to happen. So I'm going to swap this out now for the other tip that I use. I can't wait until I can find my plug-in Dremel so that I can make proper pins. I think it's time for me to get my blue belt. And I don't want to test this one to the core as far as the chuck, or else it'll break just like the other one that I had. I gotta see if I could fix the chuck on the other one and just kind of make that one to hold the pins as I cut it with this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna go crossbody karate. Wow. Ooh. All right, I have to tighten that a lot. Let's see, where's my pliers? Here we go. See, they do have different collets to use, but the one that I'm using is technically supposed to be the right one for this one, aka the smallest. Like this one's 2.8 and that one's 3.2. So I keep the other one around so that in case I want to do the painting. I'm kind of rotating that in there. That's all I want. Just keep that rotating. And that keeps it from pinching. Okay, so now it's starting to cut into that counter mill. I'm going to make the trench a little wider. Starting to add to that counter milling yet again. I'm going to show you what I mean in a minute by meets the counter milling. It's flying out all over the fucking place. Gotta be careful so I don't break this. Yeah, I want to take my other one of these apart and see, like, when I push this button, what exactly it's catching in there. So that this way, hopefully I could reinforce it maybe with something steel instead of plastic and possibly put it back. I mean, it's only held together with 6 screws. I imagine there's a small engine here with a battery pack. So when I take this part apart, just to see what this is pressing against to what it's actually catching. And I mean, I just need to buy a real one. And this does all the good light duty shit, but I'm going kind of hard here for a light tool. Okay, yes, I'm gonna have to widen that still yet again. No, I do not have a 3D printer. Wish I did. Yeah, I don't even have a computer, honestly. So that's even if I had a 3D printer, I wouldn't even have a computer to render graphics. Unfortunately. Yes, it's definitely that warding. I could see something doesn't allow it. There's no key pins in there. So that thing should be able to, like, slinky its way down. I cannot see what it's actually catching on. I'm hoping to replicate as soon as I get through here, show you guys a unique perspective of what I see when I make challenge blocks. What I mean by that is the things I do off camera that you don't see. I guess Pickle Slice, this is for you right now. I have a multitude of lenses that I use. So like I'm trying not to fuck up the camera here, but at the same time I want you to see. It's not a good example. Let me try this one for now. Yeah, I guess optics need to be cleaned. Alright, I'll use my good one. I have 2 good ones. This one's my good plastic one. It has a double loop. That's what makes it fucking. Look at that. Look at that, dude. You want to get up close and personal. You want to see serrations. You want to. This is a soldering station right here. This is meant for jewelers. I took off the arms. There's little arms that come right here with clips. So like it would hold your lock or it would hold your whatever if you were so inclined to have it to do so. And it even has a little light. That's a little light right there. And it's adjustable. So this thing can go whatever, straight up, straight down, however you want to do it. But yeah, and again, this is another eBay score for like 10, 15 bucks. But I mean, you can literally get up in there and you can see how threaded things are and how many more millimeters, if any, you have to go through the bottom of the lock. I don't have great lighting right now to, like, if I had the light on there plugged in or if I had the flashlight. I only have two hands, but you'd better be able to see how that's poking out of the bottom, like the way I could see it with my eye. Like that hole. Wow, it is. I don't know how the key pin's not poking out. There you go. Like, dude, that's a perfect. There you go. That's a perfect circle. Like that is being held in there by the minimalist of taper, dude. Like that's a drill all the way through the lock. I am so lucky that that's not coming through. Oh wow, orthodontist invest. That's smart. Nice, dude. Nice. Yes, that's my shit got all dust on it. I keep it in bubble wrap and stuff when I'm not using it this way. The optics don't get scratched or while I'm drilling, iron filings or whatever, steel shavings aren't getting all over it. But yeah, dude, when you want to get up close and personal and see how much room's left to wiggle, in a world where there is no wiggle room, this thing will show you. And that's, I could tell already. I have no room to play. That pin is ready to come all the way through. Wow, like you can tell all those other chambers I haven't tapped, no tap, no tap, no tap. Hello. And clear as day. And see if maybe I can angle it towards the light. If you can, oh yeah, you can kind of. The two I sank, you could see daylight straight through them. Yeah, flip them down like that. I see what you're saying. Yeah. This has the exact opposite function of that. So like if it was sitting here, the way it's meant to be like a stand, it's like you could flip it up. So it could be standing here like that, and then you flip it down in the way that it is when you wanted to use it. And then when it's not in use, you just flip this switch and then flip it back. But I don't want to damage it while it's sitting around. So literally I bring it out for a minute, I peep around, do whatever, and then I put it right back into this thing like that. Put it back. And then I have a better yet, I don't even want to go get it, but it's a very nice, has the stem and everything. It's a nice optic lens like this, but it has the stem. It's meant for reading maps. You can see it in my first challenge lock making video for John Locke when I use the files that I was telling you about, and I use that magnifying glass constantly. Yeah, for me, like I said, I like that little double loop, just how it allows me to at least show you guys what it is I see. So let's see, I gotta widen this circle so that the ball bearings will float down there better. Okay. I'm gonna change out this one, put this one back in. And as far as the rest of those chambers, I am going to sink the key pins just to make it harder to go through the lock and to even do the jiggle test. But I'm not going to push them as I've been pushing them for chambers 1 and 2. I am doing that because of the trench traps, and I want to have the ball sink in there the best I can. So if that's not necessary, I'm just doing the rest for clutter. And I want to make sure I don't bump up any of those ones that are serrated. You know, I'm thinking about maybe I'll just serrate these last two, even though the top. Oh, there we go. That's right. If I drill those down, the key pin will sink enough that I could put threaded chambers in there. See, that changes the whole game. Shit. Okay. Okay. Let's focus on chamber 2 for now. So I unfortunately got to carve away a little bit of that lip I created. I'm going to slow that down. Just because I do not want to remove too much material from there. Like, you want to keep as much of that lip as possible. But I also can see in this corner where I think needs a little cleaning up. Because a lot of times, especially going across the chambers, the spurs that come up, like, you know, it's no longer a perfect circle or diameter, so you got to clean up that circumference a little bit. I just do little, like, half moon touches, and hopefully that'll be good enough. Sink it under that, and then sink it under that side. So I'm shaving away the lip at the same time. I want to create another one. So again, I'm going right under in the trench, and then I'm trying to lift with the ball. So you see, I'm doing there, and I'm lifting it. I'm literally pushing up like that. Do a little bit from that side, do a little bit from, change the angle. Now, I do change up angles just, oh, that's right, it's supposed to be, no, wait, I'm not dropping this one, that's right. Alright, so let's see how that grabs now. Stop putting my fucking tweezers. I'm telling you, if you were counting how many times I reached for the tweezers and they're in the wrong spot. Let this own give it. Wow, that still doesn't want to accept it. Okay. Wow, I gotta blow this out. I did not want to do this. But I have to widen it. No! Destroying my beautiful work. Hopefully that'll work. Come on. This thing's wide open. Here we go. See, that's the problem. I guess even with that first chamber, it's forcing in these 3mm balls. It's just not equipped to accept them. So I gotta drill away a lot of material for it to fit. Yeah, I gotta make that drop a lot better. I mean, I don't know what it is exactly they're catching on either, because that first one I feel could drop down farther too, and that's, I want both of them to snag on as much of the trap as possible. So I think it's a matter of just rounding it out. want to make it accept it first before I put the lip on there. There we go. There we go. That's the way the first chamber should be. See how that sinks all the way down? Like that sunk way down in there. That's the way it's supposed to be. Alright, so I need to clean up chamber 1 for sure. See, I pushed that down into chamber 1, and it doesn't go past that second ball clean. Let's clean that up. Ooh, baby. Truckers in trouble, truckers in trouble. I think I've smoothed that out. I kind of am feeling where the ledge is, and I'm just trying to make sure I don't push through that. As long as I don't push through that ledge, everything else should be fine. Come on, sink. Ooh, that doesn't want to go down at all. I hate these either ors. It doesn't exactly drop through the second one fine either. Like, that's a lot of tension to push through that. See, now I'm trying to judge on the outside by the fact it's getting caught right about there. Means that's also where it's getting caught, right at the top of the keyway. So I'm going to try to open up or widen that opening part of the keyway just in that spot to let the ball sit there. Like I'm not going down into the boarding, so to speak, of a rock. It's more just rounding out the chamber, I guess. Okay, let's see. I really hope this is enough. No, it is not. Oh shit. I did not want that to happen. Was not expecting that to happen. No, wait a minute. I don't want to go sending that down necessarily because that might not push it up. That might pull it down. There we go. Whoo! All right, so I don't want to widen that too much. Oh man, that does not even want to come out. Do not break in there. Ooh, all right. I'm not even putting it into without a key pin under it. Wow, that's how deadly of a trap that is. Holy shit. I gotta be careful, make sure that key pin's even gonna work. All right, 2 is set. I'm not messing with 2 as far as depth anymore. I will widen that trench a little bit though, to allow for the deeper fall. Actually, nah, I don't even really need to do that. See, it's just so wide though. It's not much of a, to me, it's not much of a trap anymore. Yeah, let's leave that one alone. Yep, I got 2 up there. See, that's what I didn't want to do, is make them so wide that they don't have a lip. they do, especially one. And I'm going to see, like I said, drop down and serrate 2 and 3. All right, we're almost done. We'll be done by the 3-hour mark, fully assembled. Okay, chamber 1, chamber 2, chamber 3 serrated. Chamber 4, I gotta drop that way down. That's the longest of all key pins. Alright. So now that's really all I'm doing for the rest of this is just dropping the key pins, and we're kind of done. Trying to show you, but at the same time, I need to feed. Okay. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't pop out the bottom, but just to give you an example, let's send it down the pipe. See what it looks like. Okay. So you can see by dropping that one had about as much room as that one did. So we've gained about 2 more stripes of thread just by doing that. I know you might think, hey, 2 stripes of thread, what the hell is that doing? But actually, 2 more stripes of thread, that's 2 more things for that serrated pin to get stuck on. Again, you got to remember every millimeter counts. All right. And if you're looking at that down the pipe, see how that's sitting. So that's a good job as far as getting through. And it's sitting right on the bottom warding there. So I don't want to push that one any further. So that one's good. That one out. Now do the same to the one next to it. Drop it a little farther. That's a big old key pin. Now go to chamber 4. Okay. Sorry, I had to pull that off camera for a second to really stare at it in the light. I'm just kind of doing them all real quick. It's a lot easier to do when you're staring into the light. Sorry, I'll tune you in here in a second. Ooh, pinch that to a stop if you don't want to do that. Find the chamber. That's right when it pushes through, both things are warding that you hear my Dremel stop. Alright. Now, I'm going to show you what I did. I went in each one of these keys, or each one of these holes. Okay, I don't see any over counter milling like I did in chamber 1. But you can clearly see. Wow, you can clearly see. How there is that little hole in one. Yeah, look, as soon as I moved my fingers, you can see the chambers I tapped without that. None of them so far down as chamber 1. But, wow, that is just still sitting in the warding. Holy crap. I got lucky on that. I'm gonna say, short of that, I was just gonna have to put like a dab of super glue in here or something. Build something back up. I don't know. But, okay, so point being, now drop key pin 4 in. Let's see if I dropped it enough. Nah, not really. I was gonna say if it's worth serrating. I guess it's better than not. Can't hurt. But it didn't make like a world full of room. This one was already serrated. But as you can see, for the key pin dropping gave it a lot more room. So there's a lot more serrations to get caught on. A lot more. Maybe I can work on dropping that one just a little bit more. Actually, no. You can already see at the bottom that's getting to be like chamber 1. Damn. I did go kind of hard. That's what I was doing off camera, was making sure I didn't over counter mill that one. But that was the one I wanted to drop. Yeah, I'll just serrate. I was going to try to cut like a tight counter milled lip underneath there, but I don't think that would serve right. Now let's see what the last 2 pins look like. Okay, again, it doesn't look like it dropped with that much. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, that's the shear line. I could technically install a third trap. Let's see, was that ball sit? I think I could squeeze a ball in there. Oh boy, is this gonna be another 5-hour video? Yeah, Trucker doesn't have any of my pack locks or anything like that. So I think he deserves 3 trenches. Or you know what? Maybe I'll just counter mill it first. Let's see how all the key pins look and work for right now. Because again, I'm not going to be able to mod the Bible at all. So all of the challenge has to come from right here. Now, if you look at that, that's getting evil. Look how deep those fuckers are. Okay, keep in. Alright, I don't want this fucking thing to go flying all over the place. Oh yeah, you could feel it's taking a little pressure now to put these in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't tell me I overmilled it. I may have. There is a counter to that. I have to shave my key pin tip down. But I think that is now an issue. I didn't think about that either. Hopefully these aren't like 0 cuts because there's only so much a lock can go before it bricks. Alright, let's see. Does this fit through? No. It does, but it is hard. Wow, I have to put a hard tip on that key. Yikes. I did not take that into consideration. Hold on, let me take the key pins out and see what the key feels like all by itself. I might have just chewed the wording up to where it needs to be cleaned. Or I could have completely destroyed the lock. We're about to find out. I've yet to completely destroy a lock, and I keep pushing it and pushing it. It's bound to happen eventually. Yeah, wow, those two are sunk in there deep like ticks, dude. Those two key pins do not want to move. All right, so let's see what it's like even putting a key in with them two. Yeah, they do not want to move. They're like, no, thank you. Okay, so. Oh yeah, there's jagged as fuck. Okay. I'm figuring from all the tunneling I'm doing this way, it's creating spurs. Because I get from right there on, like look at the key itself, like there's no pins in there. It's the key itself doesn't want to. Right there. Okay, so looking down. I see what's happening. I don't know if I could fix right there. Yep. It's right between traps 1 and 2 where I've chewed the wording in between them. It messes with the tip of the lock, so or the tip of the key rather. So it turns it right there. Like it doesn't want to let it go forward. Shit, that's not without even any pins in it. Huh. Let me see if I change the arrow. Okay, no pins resting on the actual tip of this. Let me see if I can maybe narrow the wording if I... Well, I'm afraid, well, not even afraid of, but if I have to cut that in a way that it's just straight down for it to go under that first pin. You know what I'm saying? Like how it's resting on here. So, oops, sorry. So how it's resting on the tip. I might have to shave something close to that. So that this way when I first enter the key, it slides directly under the pin and the warding. Yeah, see again, right there. There's no pins in there, there's no nothing. But from me digging those tunnels right there, the key. I don't think a lot of rough file, you know, like I don't think the key is gonna just file its way out of there. So yeah, all right, let's try that, I guess. Oh, that's not the wheel I would use at all. Let's see, where's the other Dremel at? I think that has a grinder wheel in it. I just had it 10 minutes ago to show the world. Wow, that's disheartening. There it is. Okay, it does have a grinder wheel, I thought so. Okay, let's see if we can take this down without destroying it. I'm just gonna whittle down the front of it. And basically what I'm trying to do is just create a better ramp to hit that key. Making sure I'm not cutting the inside of that circle. I'm only shaving the outside. I'm not trying to change the key pins. Okay. Let's see. I've actually shaved that down a lot. Let's see if that helps clear it at all. Okay. Okay. It's smoother. I'm going to keep going with it though. I'm going to just try to keep that or cut that literally flat. I mean, I'm hoping I don't have to remove that whole piece completely, but I'm also trying to shred the thickness of the key a little bit to help it get through those key pins. I'm doing that on the very low RPM because I'm really not trying to remove much here. I'm literally just trying to clean it up. Okay, let's see now if it'll work, or see how it feels at least. Okay, let's try putting in the first two key pins and see if we got a working lock. If we don't, I'll shave some more of the key. If we don't, we don't. I got a 3-hour video of how not to make a challenge lock. Oh, it's still not getting under. Wow, I dropped them down so much. Literally, I think, to make a working key, I think I'm gonna have to cut that completely down to the... Ooh. I still don't even know if that's gonna work. Like, I'm gonna have to start the key with the bottom of the warding to lift the key pins. So that's what it is. I got fucking a bunch of extra key blanks. Thanks, Google Slice. Oh, no way, dude. Yeah, you went through like 15, 20 pins? No shit. Yeah, I've never, this would be the first chord at, like, if it is ruined, that I ruined. But, I mean, I'm technically, I guess if even if I change the pins to longer pins, I might even still be able to save it. But, yeah, that's the pack lock. I almost got there twice, but I never dropped pins down like this before. So, yeah, I'm just saying common sense is telling me I'm going to have to make a very special key. So, let's go ahead and make that very special key. Imagine I'm going to have to cut that straight down. I mean, like, straight ramp that. And unfortunately, the way it was cut, it's like the warding's way back here too, so I don't even have any extra warding to play with. I mean, I do have a key blank for these key ways, so I mean, I guess I could technically cut one or finagle one to work if I didn't completely ruin the key way. So I guess we'll see. See, that's what I don't want to keep doing. I keep accidentally slipping and hitting the where the key pin's gonna go, and I don't want to do that. But this needs to be a much better lamp. Much better lamp. Even if I do enlarge the key pin, I can always add a pin in the kit. I can get a bigger pin. So, should at least include you in the process here. So yeah, what I'm doing is going from where that key pin sits. I'm just gonna literally drill this whole part. And I'm gonna try to shave it as if I'm like whittling here. Let's see, I'm wondering if let's see, that's the part that I need, man, that bottom part the most. Because I drilled through the warding, it's the warding I actually need now to, like, save me, if that makes sense. Okay, we're getting there. It's a very slow grind, but we're getting there. Probably be a lot easier if this was a brass key instead of steel too. That's sure that's a problem. See, now I'm actually kind of angling it. Remember I was saying I was whittling? This is kind of what I mean by whittling. Being the problem is the keys not being able to get under the key pins. If I shave the front down with the warding, hopefully it'll be enough to at least lift the pins as the key sliding through. Keyword in that sentence. Hope. I know you may be asking, have you ever done this before? And actually, yeah, this is how I crafted the key to the Assa, the 700. I mean, it's awfully thin. It's awfully thin and probably has an expiration date, but how I made that was sitting here doing exactly what I'm doing now. And the reason it's not recorded is it took like 5.5 hours. But I made it work. Oh, that key pin's gonna be a whole different size if I keep doing it that way. Alright, let's see how it's fit. Let's see if he feels like I'm even making progress. Yes, it does actually. Because at least I could feel that pin starting to lift now. It's still saying no, but at least it's starting to try. Wow, I'm gonna have to shave that like pretty much straight the fuck down. Oh, no problem. Thanks for sticking around, Pickle Slice. I appreciate it. If you took away nothing else, at least you know how not to make a challenge lock. I'm trying to see if there's any visual like visually I could see where I counter mill fucked up that. Let me try one pin at a time. Alright, there's one pin in there. Let's see, does it lift one pin? No. Nope. Let's see how it fits in the keyway. Alright, still fits in the keyway fine. I can still see where it's sitting, and I'll even try that key pin that sits in that chamber. Yep, still fits. Okay. So I didn't blow that shear line out. That's good. But that does mean I gotta cut this damn key to fit. I wish I had one of those, whatchamacallit cutters. Leashies. If I had a leashie cutter, I could cut that down just by nibs. You know what? Let's try the file. Fuck that. I got the tools. Okay. Got a little file here. There's no way that pin's gonna slide under that. Like it's the whole up and over feature that's not working out. Alright, so let's just go with the... Okay, I'm gonna change this to the flat tip. Getting better. Okay, let's see. This can do it. If not, this might be a pickable only lock. Hmm. Yeah, wow, it does not want to lift. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a big enough slope for it to lift. I might just have to make a whole new key if I didn't brick the lock. I'm trying to think of everything I can do to, as it's approaching those first couple sunken pins. What it can do to lift them. Wow, there's so much that could be smoothed out. Like, it almost has to, like, scoop them up. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's gonna work. Well, now I know why I've never tried that trick before. Okay, well, I'm gonna reassemble this for the kill. So, let's see. 1, 2, trap spools. 3, 4. I'm just gonna assemble it now. Ah, did that just... It just super wiggled in, no shit. Okay, let's just put it together, then we'll fuck with it. But then if I fuck up the key, I'm not gonna be able to open it. Shut. Alright. Okay. They're at the shear line, possibly for the last time ever. Of course, it's too big to fit in any core holder. Why wouldn't it be? See, look, like once it's in, it works. Okay, so it's like, I think I got it working. You have to be super... I don't want to spill pins all over the place. Okay. Anytime I come over here, it works. But... under spring pressure, it's not going to like that. Okay, trap, serrade. I got one more serrade, and we're putting this bitch together. Okay. Okay. Fully serrated. Oh, this thing's a fucking beast, dude. I just gotta figure out how to keep that key working. I keep filing it down. There's not gonna be a damn key left. Alright, so the only core, the only core not manipulated is that last one, because there's really no point. I mean, if we're going for just challenge here, I guess, why not, right? Okay, I just want a couple little stripes. I'm not trying to make it crazy. Key pins are already having a problem. Okay, so I've had to shave this thing down like ugly as fuck, chew it like crazy just to get it to slide through without key pins with all the core mods here. So for each one of those drill downs and tunnels, like I've had to go back in there and smooth each one of them out. And then still, because I drilled it down so far into the warding, that first peak is really giving me a problem on the key. So ultimately, I think I'm going to have to shave that part off. Because you need to ramp straight up the warding to get on there. But with that being said, I was thinking about making one more trap in chamber. Hold on, let me put the pins back in. So if we're gonna go for it, might as well go for it, right? And of course, this does not have a core follower this size. Why would it? Okay, so there she is. Nice flush shear line. Two traps, and the key works there. Key works there. It's just when we get to there, we have that problem. Okay. I wish I had a place to set this. Okay, so now I gotta spring up the top. So, let's see. This we'll start with chamber 3. The plug follower like that. I hate this size. Wait, does this one fit? Yes, that one does fit. Alright, I like this one way better. Okay, we're gonna start with chamber 3. Of course, I put the spring in 4. Okay. So 3 is going to be serrated. Okay, trap number 1. Okay. Trap number 2. Just give you an idea how hard this is to put this together sometimes. Okay, whoo, almost pushed that through. 3 are loaded. I don't like using the side of the follower, as you can tell. Okay. Let's see. 3 that way is going to be another serrated. What do I do with the other serrated? Okay. Here's one. Let's have a smaller caliber. Hopefully this will fuck things up a little bit. Okay, so I need some springs. I don't know how I lost springs. I'm missing a couple springs. Here's one. And okay, I'll put that in that one. And I'll put this side in. I didn't have a lot of pressure to it at all. I actually would have preferred the double string that one, or double spring. Okay, where's my thing of springs? Yeah, wow, those are baby steel springs compared to the ones this thing's taking. Right, hold on. Where's my sparrows back up? Here we go. Hold on, those are baby springs too. I'm actually gonna add two of those. That's like nothing. I have to push that spring down in there a little better. Trying to push the spring down best I can without destroying it or deforming it. At the same time, pressing that down on top. I think I have the idea of the way how to do it. Do it just like that, only insert this. Let's see if I can do it. No. See, that's the problem, is being able to grab the pin by the app. There we go. If it's happening, it's happening now. There we go. Woo! We got it, baby. We got it. Holy shit. Wow, was that a pain in the ass, the fucking pin? Whew. Now, where the hell was the shim? Here's a shim. That's good enough. Let's put this thing together. Okay. Make sure that shim is hard in place. I cannot believe I pulled this off. This is whew, a surprise, even myself. Okay, it's not together yet, right? Here we go. All or nothing right now. All the marbles. Oh, it works. It works, baby. It works. I am not taking that key out because once you take it out, you own it. Let's see, where's the little... I don't think the nib has a spot on this per se. Or maybe it does. Oh, I do not want to stab myself for this lock now. So, strange C-clip. Which way would you like to go? Talk to me, C-clip. Oh, I'm doing exactly what you hear. Uh, There we go. Woo! 3 hours and 20 minutes. Look at that, baby. We have a shear on. I am not taking that key out. It belongs to Trucker. Good luck, motherfucker.